All right, welcome back. If you missed parts 1, 2, or 3 of this video, I'll explain briefly. I am painting on top of an acrylic underpainting that I started yesterday. And it hasn't taken much work at all to quite thoroughly cover or obliterate yesterday's painting. So that's a happy. Here's a photograph that I'm working from. It's a picture of the main drag in downtown Acrylic. I'm not sure downtown Acrylic is, that's sort of an oxymoron. Anyway, the main strip and the main tourist area. And now I need to do some sort of ignoring all details. I need to get some major compositional elements taken care of here. So I'm mixing up my favorite color, dark black, which is a combination of blue and brown. Let's put a tree right there, shall we? So these big, except there's a bicyclist in front of that tree, so we'll erase that part. Big live oak trees here lining this street, which is a huge part of what gives the scene its charm. Oh, dark black is blue and brown mixed, sometimes a little bit of purple. All of this needs to be much darker. I like that it's green, but it's way too light. So let's get that back where it needs to be. And then, of course, the shadows running across the road are also a huge part of the charm of this scene. That's getting there. Now, part of the beauty of working in transparent color, of course, is you can do things like this. When all this dries, it'll be quite transparent. You can do things like this, and I'm not losing any of the detail or any of the drawing that is already on the canvas. It's still there. It's pushed back somewhat, of course, but I'm not obliterating it. So that's a real advantage in my way of thinking, anyway. So you can. Let me review this. Many of you have heard me say this before. Let me say it again. Composition, which I feel like is still an area of my painting world that could use some improvement. But here's how I've improved this much recently. I understand this to be the case. The composition of a painting. I'm talking now about the literal graphic design layout, balance, the major shapes. Composition has to do with major light and dark areas. Okay? Not little details. Like you might say, well, that might be a compositional issue, but this line here is not. That is not. Has nothing to do with. Those are not major. And it's light and dark areas, not colors. Light and dark. And composition refers to the major light and dark areas. Can it be described in one simple sentence or even in one word? And the answer to this one is yes. It's a tunnel of light in darkness, or and maybe this shaft of light is pretty important. So